Ah yes, sushi, one of Japan's most iconic foods, paired with soy sauce. You decide to have a sushi snack while you draw because why not? Next thing you know, you're dipping your brush in the soy sauce. Yep, that's right folks, we're painting with soy sauce. Oh boy. Because soy sauce is so liquidy and thin, I thought it would be best to boil it down to a thicker consistency so that I could get a more saturated dark brown color. I wasn't sure how this was going to work because I've never done this before, and to my surprise, it worked okay. We got this lovely thick soy sauce that kind of looks like brownie batter and, to be honest, is quite disgusting and made my whole apartment smell like soy sauce for a whole day. I was a little concerned with how this thick soy sauce was going to rehydrate or I guess dissolve back into water because I did boil it down to its thickest state. I was wanting to get a variety of darknesses from it. So getting into our swatching, I wanted to see how soy sauce layers, how it gradients, and of course how the thicker sauce can be used. To my surprise, I was able to add water pretty easily, but it was kind of chunky in spots, so that was something I was definitely going to have to work around. And as far as layering goes, it became sort of coated with this shiny, maybe salty layer that made it very hard to layer, so that was something that I also had to consider when getting into our piece. And if you put it on too thick, you got this lovely skin, so let's sketch some ideas. Okay, this is what, our 7th painting with video, so I think you guys kind of have the gist of what we like to go for as far as subject matter goes. Obviously, we need a character somewhat inspired or, English. Inspired or related, I guess, to whatever it is we are painting with. So soy sauce, we have to include sushi, obviously. Maybe like a sushi server. Maybe they work at a restaurant, serving up that good sushi. You know, just having a jolly good time at work. But also probably going to keep it a little simple because layering is a little difficult with the soy sauce as we saw with the test. So I'm afraid to add any too crazy details, but we'll see how that goes. Actually, to be honest, my favorite place to get sushi in Japan is a conveyor belt restaurant, which is super not fancy. It's actually the cheapest place to get sushi, and honestly, you can't go wrong. They kind of actually dress similar to this, maybe not quite as fancy, but in Japan there are a lot of uniform situations. Usually the standards are pretty high. What if it was just one giant piece of sushi? Gosh, ew. Here's your slab of fish on a slab of brick of rice. Yum yum. I mean, honestly, oh, I hate the leg position. Oh, it's gross. Hold up. You know how in cartoons people slip on banana peels? But instead of a banana peel, because this guy works at a sushi restaurant, he's about to slip on a piece of fish, which, like, here, we can make it look like a giant, what's it called? Shrimp. Delicious. Kind of looks like a banana peel, actually, which is kind of disgusting. Alternatively, we could try to do maybe a character, a character inspired by sushi, like a girl, obviously. So maybe she's on a bed of rice and ew. I like our server, but usually when I do these drawings, they're floating, but I guess he is mid-step, so it kind of looks like he's floating. That'll probably work, right? Look, I'm scared with this soy sauce situation. Let's keep it simple. I think I'm gonna go with our sushi server slipping on a shrimp, because why not? All right, here we go. I'll be honest, painting with soy sauce is definitely one of the painting with videos that has been on my list for a long time. It's definitely been very much heavily requested, but it's also one of my most dreaded painting with videos because of the smell. Painting with coffee, delightful. Painting with tea, love the aroma. Painting with chocolate, it got a little sickening after a while, smelling sugar, but it wasn't torture. Painting with soy sauce, wow, I just wasn't looking forward to this, and I just felt like it was going to be the most disgusting painting with video. Like I mentioned, when I boiled it down, it made my whole apartment smell like soy sauce for the entire day, and even after washing all of the dishes I used when making this painting, my kitchen area still smells like soy sauce, so that is a situation I'm living right now. But let's talk about the painting. As far as painting with soy sauce goes, I was surprised at how easy it was actually. When doing the initial swatching, I was a little concerned with how it was going to layer because it did create that weird sort of shiny coating that didn't allow for additional layers to be put on top of it. Basically, it almost became water repellent in the sense that it had that hard coating on top and the water just kind of washed away. So that was concerning, but if I did it light enough, there wasn't too many problems. Like I mentioned, if I put it down really thick, there would be this film. The thicker it was, the more of a actual film of soy sauce that there was on the paper, which obviously made it harder to layer because when you layer things in a watercolor-esque way, you do need the watercolor paper to absorb it. It's not just putting paint on top of paint like you would with, say, acrylics or oils. You want to layer and you want the paper to absorb the liquid. So definitely doing the lighter colors like the skin tone and the shading for the shirt, definitely easy to layer. The sushi shading that the server is holding, also really easy. I put probably 2 or 3, maybe even 4 layers on that rice shading area, and it layered pretty well. I was surprised. I was also really happy to find out that once the soy sauce was dried, and to be honest, even when the soy sauce was still kind of wet, it didn't really bleed into each other. So with watercolor, if you have a wet area touch another wet area, they will start to bleed and mix into each other. But I guess because the soy sauce was so thick, even when it was really watered down, it wasn't bleeding into each other. So that was something that I didn't have to worry about, which was great because soy sauce takes a hot minute to dry, even when I had the hair dryer blasting on it, especially if I made it too thick. The soy sauce would just take so long to dry. So I think patience on this one was one of the harder things to deal with. I think the hardest thing to deal with was, like I mentioned, the smell. Oh my god, I had to sit here and smell soy sauce for a couple of hours. I know a lot of you are going to ask how this piece smells. To be honest, it's not that strong of a smell because there's not that much soy sauce on the actual paper. If you do get up to it like an inch or a couple of inches away, you can smell the soy sauce. And just like the chocolate piece, I'm just not sure if this is going to be one that I can keep or not. Coffee and tea, they're a lot less offensive both in smell and the contents of what they are. Whereas with soy sauce, I think there's a lot of maybe sugars and starches and just weird stuff in it that will probably not hold up with time for a while. So that's definitely something I'm gonna have to consider if I want to take this piece home. Maybe I can laminate it in some way. I'm not really sure. This little guy might be left behind in a Japanese garbage can, but we will see. I would like to take him home for the rest of the collection, but him and the chocolate piece, I'm just not sure if they're gonna make it home or not. And like I said, I'm just not sure if he's going to mold or what's gonna happen over time, so always a risk with these painting with videos. Now, if you are not unfamiliar with the Painting With series, you know that we have to do our little ring of liquid around the character and use the hair dryer to blow out pieces of it and then splatter the soy sauce around our character as well. I think this is always a really fun addition to just really play around with our liquid of choice and just really show that it is what it is. It's a splattered sauce on our paper. And that is it for painting with soy sauce, to be honest. Aside from the smell, wasn't that hard. It's a little chunky in the thicker areas, but you know, I think I dreaded it more than it actually ended up being disgusting. So there it is. Would I recommend painting with soy sauce? Absolutely not. But hey, that's why I'm here doing it for you. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye! But before I go, a huge thank you to my patrons for all of the support. You guys are seriously amazing. If you want early access to my videos, coloring pages, and more, check out the link for my Patreon in the description. Thank you guys all so much for the support. Bye!